Hello, we are Maria Jose
and Clarissa. Welcome to Teachers Out and Loud 2025, a podcast brought to you by students from Teacher Training College in Escobar. In each episode, we will explore the world of education from the perspective of future teachers. Join us as we discuss various topics related to teaching, learning, and the challenges and rewards of this novel profession. This episode is called Dear Exam, We Need to Talk.
Hello everybody and welcome back to our podcast. Today we are going to discuss something every student has probably thought about at least once. Why do we have so many corrections, workshops and assignments if at the end of the day the final exam seems to decide our grades?
Exactly. In our case, as students at our Teachers Training College in the province of Buenos Aires, Argentina, we don't just have a final exam. We also have 2 term tests during the year, on top of homework and presentations, and sometimes it feels like all of that effort doesn't really count as much as it should.
And for me, this topic is especially interesting because I come from Montevideo, Uruguay. There, the evaluation system is a little bit different, so I will bring in that perspective to compare.
Let's start with how this feels as students. We prepare presentations, do homework, go through corrections, and even study for 2 term tests. But then comes the final exam, and suddenly it seems like everything depends on that one day.
Yes, and I have seen many classmates who did well all the year round but froze during the final. Their grades didn't reflect their real effort or progress. In Montevideo, for example, some schools avoid this by focusing more on continuous assessment, shorter tests, projects, and participation, with all combined too, instead of one global exam deciding everything.
So the big question is, if we were working all year round, shouldn't that consistent effort matter more?
Of course, there is a reason behind all these smaller tasks. Correction and workshop help us see our mistakes and improve. They are like training sessions before the big game.
Right. Without them, the final exam would be much harder. But the issue is balance. If the final exam counts for 60 or 70% of the grade, while all the rest of the work barely affects it, the motivation drops.
Exactly. Students need to feel that every activity, even the small ones, has a real value, that they are not just practice for a single test.
Let's look at some international examples. In Finland, they don't rely so much on high-stake exams. Instead, projects, group work, and teacher feedback play a huge role in grading. In the United States, in many schools, students have quizzes, homeworks, class participation at midterms, plus a final. But the final exam is usually just one piece, not the entire grade. In Uruguay, in Montevideo, some schools use partial tests throughout the year. If you keep your average high enough, you may not even need to sit for a final exam.
So easy to understand. There are other models out there. It shows that evaluation doesn't always need to depend on one stressful exam. All this brings us to the idea. What if our system adopts a new rule? For example, if you score more than 7 in both term tests, then you don't have to take the final exam.
That would change everything. It would reward students who work hard consistently during the year. Instead of waiting for one exam to save you, you will know that your effort is paying off as you go.
And those who don't reach the mark of 7 in a term test could still have a chance with the final. But for the students who keep up their work, the stress of the final exam wouldn't be necessary.
It would also encourage better use of correction and assignments because you want to stay ready for the term tests.
Let's think about the benefit. A student would stay motivated all year. A student would be less stressed on one single day. Grades would reflect both effort and knowledge.
Of course, there are also challenges. Teachers will need to plan carefully so term tests and assignments are fair and useful. Some students might relax too much after passing one term test. However, in some subjects, such as written one, a final exam might still be necessary to cover everything.
True, but again, it's about balance. Term tests could be the main evidence of learning, while final exam may remain as an option for those who need another chance.
So, should the teacher training college rethink how they assess us? We believe they should. Final exams shouldn't erase months of work.
The new proposal is simple. If you pass both term tests with more than a 7, you won't need to take the final exam. That way, continuous learning would get the value it deserves. Okay, dear audience, if this resonates with you, share your opinion with us. Would you like this system in your teacher training college?
Thanks for listening and see you in the next episode to our podcast. Share your opinions with us. Would you like this system in your school? See you in the next one.